Welcome back to GYG Park. The senior Rotax class is the last race of the day, about to come up. Just wanted to cover the situation with tyres within Super 1. Years ago we had an issue with people applying chemicals to tyres, softening tyres, and to make sure that that doesn't happen anymore, all of the tyres are held within the tyre bay. All of the circuits within the Super 1 series have to have a facility to hold the tyres so that the tyres can be distributed to drivers before the race. As we can see here, this is the Parc Fermé conditions for the senior Rotax class before they go out onto the dummy grid. So all of the mechanics and drivers have collected the tyres, put them on the carts, ready to go out for the race, and then when they come in after the race, they'll hand them back in to the guys in the tyre bay, and that's just to make sure that everybody is playing on a level playing field with regards to tyres and tyres not being softened with chemicals, etc.
So into the senior Rotax televised final we go. Oliver Hodgson on pole position alongside Kyle Fowley, Sean Babington and the Cymru champion Josh Collins on row 2, James Singleton and Jack Saffrey on row 3, John Stewart in the O plate, but down in 28th, the number 2, Charlie Eastwood. How much work has he got to make up? But it's almost mission impossible from there, but don't count him out. Here we go. Into the right-hander and up the hill. Charlie Eastwood, you could see him in the number 2 already, making up a few places as they run down towards the fast-flowing right-hander. And up at the front, jostling for position. Let's see if we can find Eastwood. Well, couldn't quite see him as he went through, but at the front, it is still Oliver Hodgson in the number 3, just in front of the 63 of Kyle Fowley. The Scotsman still there, just in front of the number 1, Sean Babington. It's going to be close from here.
Yeah, I can tell you that Charlie Eastwood was taken out in final 1 through turn 2 at the start of the race. I think one of the drivers, it was Luke Hughes who was spinning, that unfortunately Luke got contacted, he spun and then took Charlie out, and I believe it was one of Charlie's teammates possibly that caused that incident in the first place, and may have got a black flag for it, but unfortunately for Charlie Eastwood, the championship leader, he's starting this one right down to the back of the field. And it's interesting, with the championship points the way they are this season, you can only drop your worst scoring round. You can't drop individual scoring finals. And the way things are standing at the moment, Sean Babington there, the 1 plate, the champion from last season, he had a really poor round last time, and he's going to have to drop that score at the end of the season. And the way things are standing at the moment, the way Charlie Eastwood, and there is Charlie Eastwood on the 2 cart, he's made up a few places, but pretty much Charlie's going to have to drop this score now at the end of the season. And I've got a feeling, Jake, after this race is over, the top 6 in the championship will all have had a poor scoring round. They're not, with half the season still to go, they can't afford another poor round.
It's going to make for one of the closest championships in Super 1 history, and I just say bring it on. That's exactly what we want to see. Out in front then we have Oliver Hodgson, racing very closely indeed with Kyle Foley and Sean Babington. Behind is the O plate, John Stewart. And we've got a nice move here coming up through as well. That's the C plate, of course, Josh Collins in amongst that lot as well. We saw James Singleton in amongst that group as well. I think he's still there. Just a couple of places up. Yep, there goes Collins on the inside. Past the 20, that's Oliver Myers. Jack Saffrey's right behind. And now it's up to Collins to make the bid to go after the O plate of John Stewart. Back at the front, just saw a bit of a scrap there as they make their way through. Hodgson still in front of Fowley for the moment. Sean Babington right in there as well. Charlie Eastwood still a long way back, but making up places all the time, and that's got to be fairly satisfying. Yes, it's frustrating because he's way down the order, but it must feel fantastic going through the field one by one, picking off places. It's an overtaking dream as far as he's concerned, and he's made up another couple of places there. It's the number 6 that's dropping back, in fact, really dropping back. So problems there for Singleton, starting up in 5th on the grid. He's got some kind of technical issue there, Alan.
Yeah, clearly a technical issue. He's a very talented driver, James, but doesn't matter how talented you are, if the cart's not working, it's not working, you're going to go backwards, and that's the case for James Singleton. 9 cart there, Thomas Arm. Know Thomas from his junior days really well, won the BRDC scholarship along with my son in 2005, the pair of them. Thomas Arm battling with Adam Glare, that's the O plate, John Stewart, with the Welsh champion just in behind. There's Jack Saffrey on the 10 cart. In behind Jack, the 28, that's Kieran Giffen. 25 behind Kieran is Philip Morin, the man from Sweden.
And this is the train battling it out for 4th position with the O plate John Stewart heading it in 4th position. Then it's Collins, then we have Myers, Saffrey, And it's really close in behind. It's going to be any one of these guys. Up the inside, Kyle Fowley makes the move and gets through into the lead past Oliver Hodgson. Babington looked to capitalise as well, but he just didn't quite have enough space to make it through, and they're still scrapping over that lead. And this is bringing the fourth place battle into it, because John Stewart is hauling that train with him, and they're getting onto the back. This could be an epic dice for the victory. Once again, we see Collings closing up again on the back of John Stewart. And through Devil's Elbow they will go with Kyle Fowley leading the way. Up the inside goes Babington. Goodness me, that would look almost easy as he made his way through on the inside of the number 3 there, Oliver Hodgson.
Definitely not easy. That is probably the most difficult overtaking spot on the circuit. It's been made more difficult in one way by raising the curb on the inside. However, here at Gleneagles Park they have laid the curb on the outside, made that wider, so you have got a wider run on the exit. And my son was looking at that earlier in the day. We won a club championship or 2 here in our day, and he thought it made the overtake that much easier when he looked at it. It's still a very difficult overtaking spot though. Kyle Fowley on the 63 car leads from Babington, last year's champion. He will have been happy to see Charlie Eastwood getting taken out in that earlier final, because he'll know that the championship will have closed up as a consequence of that. Going through turn 135, Jessica Backman. A little bit of a dynamic here, Jake. We've got Jessica Backman racing against her brother Andreas, and she's out-qualified him by about 4 rows. And I did say to her brother earlier in the day, if your sister beats you today, that is a long trip home to Sweden.
Yeah, I think the ocean takes quite a bit of time to get across, to get over to Scandinavia, but Jessica proving once again that this is no longer a man's sport. It is a very level playing field. Equality is very rife in karting nowadays, as the likes of Tiffany Chittenden will tell you, of course. You don't have to be a bloke anymore to race in the world of top-level karting, and Jessica doing herself a very fine job out there. Sean Babington, however, at the front of the field, trying to make an opening on Kyle Fowley, and these 3 battling have brought that 4th place train, as I thought they would, into the game. So now we have John Stewart in the O-plate trying to make his way into the top 3, and now we've got the case of about 12 karts trying to get this victory. It could happen for any of them.
Harry Webb sets the fastest lap at 42.34. Kyle Fowley here looks like he's driving a very defensive line, and we just see the Welsh champion there, Josh Collings, through to 4th place up the inside of John Stewart. That's very unusual in that spot. Jack Saffrey, the 10 kart in behind, and then he was followed by 25 Philip Morin later in the race. Still Fowley up front. You can see he's driving a very defensive line here. That should bring all the karts in behind towards the front of the field. We could end up here very quickly with 10 karts battling for the win.
Well, Collings managed to make the break from Stewart, and these 4 have got away a little bit again. But Stewart, as he was holding up Collings, appears to be again holding up this battle behind him, led by Jack Saffrey in the 10. Big slide up the inside, very nicely done. Onto 3rd position then goes Josh Collings. Brilliant stuff, and well timed, because they begin the final lap. So it looks like a podium is on here for the Welsh champion, Josh Collings, and it couldn't happen at a better circuit. Obviously, local knowledge has definitely played into his hands. A podium is definitely in the offing now, but Babington trying to climb all over the back of Kyle Fowley to get through, and even so, behind them for 3rd position. It's going to be so close between Collings and Hodgson, because Hodgson trying to get through into 3rd place as well.
Babington will not make the move here on this circuit. He knows Charlie Eastwood was off in final 1. He's going to settle for points here. He's not going to make the move. He could make a move here in the final 2. He's not going to do it. He's just going to sit behind there, as I thought. And it is Fowley that takes the win from Sean Babington. Josh Collings, a great move. Couple of moves there up through the S's out of the compression complex for 3rd.
Josh, 3rd place, not quite close enough to the first 2?
No, we sort of came on late on in the race, and just wasn't quite enough to get there, but really good result in the end. Really pleased with the weekend.
Sean, 2nd the whole race, no way through at all?
No, it's ridiculously hard around this track to overtake, and the way the finals are in Snr Max is so close. You have to defend, and defending from lap 1, there's nothing really you could do about it apart from sit behind him and take the points. So yeah, like I say, good points. I had a 3rd in the first final, 2nd in the next one, so it's good for the championship.
Lights to flag victory there, held it off from Sean all the way. How was it?
Yeah, it was really hard work. Luckily, I got past Oliver on the straight and then started to defend. so hard in Senior Max, nobody ever makes any mistakes. So it was good, really happy.
Great defensive drive from Kyle Fowley. He gets the win in the televised final, and that puts him 4th in the championship standings. But look at that. At the top of the standings, 2 points separate 3 men, and Babington and Eastwood are neck and neck. I can't wait for the next round. That's going to be an electric set of races. Join us next week. We'll be back here at Glenagorse Park for the MSA Series. See you then.